Much like other dumpster fires among rom-coms, I have unfortunately discovered another one to scar my memories with. And so I will do my utmost to share my knowledge with you all so that we may suffer together. Now, fair warning, there are different tiers to genuine dumpster fires, but holy shit, I think this one is pretty high up there with it only having 35 chapters right now and currently ongoing. So if you want to click off before I lose my shit talking about this, I don't blame you. First off, the title of this manga is My Pampering Turned the Cool Goddess into a Clumsy Spoiled Girl. Typical rom-com title. And this story starts off with our main character, Haruto Akihara, who, much like many other rom-com protagonists ever made, ends up interacting with the icy goddess of the school, Rei Mikoto. And of course, for some damn reason, she ends up living with him. Sounds pretty generic amongst slop rom-coms, but let me provide some more background before we get into the garbage fire this manga becomes. So, Haruto, of course, has a childhood friend named Kaho Sasaki, and because every rom-com protagonist needs one, he spends a ridiculous amount of time studying just so that he can get into the same school as her. They go on these little hangouts or dates, and he misunderstands the mood and ends up confessing to her. Alas, he was rejected, which obviously leads to an incredibly awkward relationship. And remember Kaho, because she is essential to the terrors we are going to witness. Fast forward a little bit into the year, and Kaho's best friend Yuki helps the two of them repair their friendship. Then one day the three were talking in the classroom when the icy goddess walks in. And because Haruto is so kind, he lends her a book he likes and tells her what classroom they're heading to next period. And that is all it takes. Our boy begins putting her on this pedestal, and yada yada yada. She's the most perfect lady on earth. So through natural forces and fates intertwining, she ends up living in his apartment. Haruto gets home one day and finds Rei just inside his home. And like many others would naturally think, what the fuck? Apparently Rei is staying over because of some family issues and she happens to know his cousin. Which brings us to a phenomenal writing decision. She is his second cousin. Let me remind you, this is a romantic comedy manga. And look, it does not matter to me which part of the world you live in, and whether it is biologically safe or not, it is fucking weird. And as one can probably guess, Haruto and Rei do end up getting closer. And of course the second cousin falls in love with him. Great. At this point, I'm not going to talk about the smaller shenanigans that lead us to this monstrosity, and honestly, I don't want to waste any more time talking about this. But remember Kaho, the childhood friend who rejected him. Well, she learns that he's living with the school beauty. And of fucking course she's jealous. And instead of being a normal human being, she becomes an unhinged piece of work whenever she sees the two of them together. And you know what? The author looked at this story and realized that they needed even more spice. And you know what that spice is?
Incest.
Because for some reason, Kaho learns that she's actually the half-sister of Haruto, due to his dad having an affair or some garbage. No. For some reason, that still isn't the end, because Yuki, Kaho's best friend, of course, develops feelings for Haruto. Or maybe she develops feelings for the idea of Kaho and Haruto being together? I don't know anymore. I don't think you understand the damage being done to my brain after reading this at 6 in the morning. And because the author wasn't satisfied with that, Rei, the school goddess, also has a little sister. And lo and behold, she manages to fall for Haruto too, saving her from sketchy weirdos and bang, romance route unlocked. All this nonsense developed in 35 chapters. There might have been a bunch of smaller details and crap that I probably skipped over, but if you want to read this, then go ahead. I'm going to be judging you. And if you have begun to ask yourself, why am I still listening to this guy? I have no idea. And I just want to say that I warned you. Anyways, I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe and follow all my other socials. Alright, bye bye.